low vibration things I cut out of my life.
Any behavior that holds power over you is low vibration. You need to drop it.
Low vibrational media. I used to be a huge fan of scary movies, true crime, sad music, but then it was really starting to affect me and my mood. My anxiety and depression were at an all-time high when I was consuming that kind of media, and ever since I've cut it out, I feel so much better mentally.
Watching reality TV. Every time I try to watch reality TV, I promise you, I feel my brain cells dying by the second.
Number 2 is watching a lot of violent TV and videos. When you watch a lot of like really dangerous and violent and gory television, often you're kind of subconsciously, lowering your vibration by putting yourself in a state of fear. Like, of course, no one wants any of those things that are being portrayed in those movies to happen to them. But being in a state of fear is literally the lowest vibration you can put yourself in.
Really scary shows or shows that show a lot of violence. Just found I got really affected by them and they really brought me down vibrationally.
Watching the news.
I live in a big city and the news is just filled with crime and tragedy. So I stopped watching the news and my anxiety has gotten so much better.
So while a bunch of people want to keep up on current events, just notice how the news is always showing extremely bad events back to back to back. Now you know all bad is not going on in the world. It's also programming you to live in a state of fear all the time. And you can't function doing that.
Stop listening to sad music, especially when a song gets stuck in your head. You're just repeating those sad lyrics again and again. It's like affirmations, but in a negative way. Instead, I switched to songs with really happy lyrics.
Anything violent, negative, gory, or the news, no thank you. The only semi-violent TV I'll tolerate is You, because Penn Badgley can get it. Number 3, scrolling on social media. Not gonna lie, this one's been really hard for me because as a content creator, it's up to me to, seek out inspiration and stay up to date with the trends and things like that. But honestly, I've been working really hard to spend less time consuming and more time creating, because every time I'm consuming social media for a long period of time, I always just leave feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled, and not good about myself because I'm unconsciously just comparing my life and myself to everyone else I see on social media. And I'm all set with that.
Opening Facebook. Every time I get on Facebook, I see the meanest people from high school posting inspirational quotes. And it's flooded with judgmental family members. I just have to close the app every single time.
Excessive amounts of time on your phone. It's crazy because everybody wants to live their best life, but their best life is on their phone.
Playful negative self-talk. So I know maybe all of us have said like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Or I'm so crazy, or I'm such a dumbass for doing that, LOL. But in reality, that's programming your subconscious mind into thinking like you are those things. That's why positive affirmations work the opposite.
Our words are so powerful and hold so much weight that even saying things about yourself in a joke is reaffirming to your subconscious mind that that's true.
Remember, you can change your life just by how you think. Your dream self must be thought of in here first in order for her to even manifest. So think good thoughts.
Gossiping about other people. That is truly the most low vibrational thing that you can do, because your brain does not know the difference when you're talking about somebody else and yourself.
I'm not even gonna lie, I used to love gossiping. I lived for it. I loved talking about other people. But after self-reflection, I realized that gossiping was just a coping mechanism for my own insecurities, and I just don't fuck with that anymore.
Like, of course, you're gonna have your days where you need to vent. That is totally okay. But when you're constantly talking about people badly all the time, you're not really operating through love, to be honest. The only way you're able to open your heart chakra is being open, loving, and compassionate. So doing that definitely blocks it, and you're not operating at your highest vibration.
Another thing is clutter. Whenever my house or my room is really messy, I tend to get really anxious. And items hold power and a lot of energy. If you're holding on to stuff from friends that you are no longer cool with or ex-boyfriends, those items are gonna bring your vibration down. They hold their energy. So I stopped keeping anything that had bad energy to it. I just donated it.
A few years ago, I was in a really deep depression, but then I started looking around in my house and I realized that my wall art was literally manifesting into my reality. I used to have these drawings in my bedroom of a woman crying, but then in reality, it was me. I was the woman crying.
Absolute excess of just product. To a point where I realized that I have products that are supposed to fix problems that I don't even think that I have. I used to have an absolute excess of skincare. Honestly, there was truly no reason for me to own this much stuff. It was fun to look at, but I think I now own 10 of the products that were in there and that's it.
2. Clubbing. Throughout my 3 years of uni, I was a club addict. I went to a nightclub at least 3 times a week. I would always drink more than I could handle. And now I'll go once or twice a year, for a friend's birthday. Otherwise, I have no interest in it. I think it's such a low vibrational place. It's so surface level. Nobody connects on a real level. And it's literally just an entire night of seeking validation and trying to impress other people. Then there's fights, so there's drama, or you get yourself into unsafe situations. Not cute.
Dating apps. I took a break and I cut them out for a really long time, and it was so good for my mental health. It forced me to meet people outside of the dating apps, to make an effort, to smile if I thought a guy was attractive. I think that with so many options on dating apps and it being so superficial, it's a low vibration. And by cutting it out and at least taking some time from it, you get reinvigorated from dating again.
Instagram filters and TikTok filters. I never really have used TikTok filters, maybe 1 or 2 videos. I used to use Instagram filters on my stories sometimes. I probably haven't used them for maybe 2 years now, but for some reason just never even looking at myself with it on, it brings my vibrations up.
Trying to be the cool girlfriend. I was always so focused on making sure I was the easygoing, cool, tolerable girlfriend that I wouldn't even have any boundaries in place. Now I give no Fs. If you're doing something that bothers me, I will say it and I will set my boundaries and I will tell you what I will tolerate and what I won't. And if you can't handle that, then you're simply not the right person for me. And I'm glad I learned that, because otherwise people pleasing would have destroyed my life.
One is making decisions out of peer pressure or fear. You will never feel satisfied in life if you allow others to choose for you. So make the decision yourself.
Unfulfilling friendships. Being friends with people that didn't make me feel good and didn't make me feel safe, and I kept being friends with them because I wanted them to like me. No more. Low vibe. I'm all about making room for people in my life that love me and make me feel good about myself. And time is ticking, so you don't need everyone to like you. Not everyone likes me. I think that's painfully obvious.
And lastly, cutting toxic people off. Toxic people will drain every ounce of your energy, and cutting them off is the only way to keep your peace.
A poor diet. I used to be one of those people that would wake up and just immediately have coffee, and then I wouldn't eat until 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and my God, did this fuck up my hormones. Fostering a poor diet is truly the most common culprit for half the issues we have as humans, so start nourishing your body in the ways that you need to, and watch your hormones, your stress levels, and your energy levels all improve for the better.
Don't get me wrong, I haven't cut it out 100%, but the frequency in which I consume these foods are very rare. Because it's so normalized to eat fast food and consume a lot of sugar. But the effect that it can have on your hormones, on your health, on your mind, on your skin, body, etc. is insane. It can literally wreak havoc on you. Now, of course, eating, junk food in moderation is always cool. One bad thing's not gonna hurt you. But when you're constantly eating bad things with a bunch of chemicals and GMOs and preservatives and all that stuff, your body can't function at its highest potential. You may not even feel good, not just physically, but mentally too. All that affects us.
I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol is the world's biggest distraction to what's going on internally, and it is the most abused drug on this planet that no one ever seems to question. But the moment that you stop drinking and you start prioritizing your well-being, everyone's like, why aren't you drinking? But the real question that no one ever seems to ask, because it's so normalized, is why are you drinking to begin with? Trust me, I get it, because I know drinking feels really good in the moment when you get that nice buzz, but honestly, it is a temporary fix and it is not serving you in any way, shape, or form.
Now, like I said, moderation is fine. But when you're constantly drinking, you're bringing your mind into a different state and you're typically operating in ego. Think about all the times that you had drunken courage or you did things that you may have regret. When you drink often, you're really just not operating through your real intentional soul. You feel me?
I stopped drinking alcohol not too long ago, and now my sleep is better after going out. I look and I feel less tired after going out, and my skin looks better. And now I'm a lot more observant of what people are actually saying when they're under the influence.
Yes, I still have it from time to time, but it did really make me feel way more low vibe in a day-to-day level.
I'm now at a place where I barely drink. I'll enjoy a nice glass of wine with friends, but that's about it. Maybe a cocktail if I'm feeling crazy once a month. Alcohol is meant to make you like loose and happy, but it just did not have that effect on me, especially the next day.
I pretty much never have the desire to be hungover ever again in my life. I say this as I'm 21 years old. I'm a 2-drink kind of girl, and I don't need more than that. Don't get me wrong, I still love to go out. I've really gotten better at like being out and being sober, or just like having one drink.